You ever notice how the louder someone tries to be liked, the less people actually listen? It's strange. The harder you push for approval, the quicker it slips through your fingers. You laugh at the right time, nod in the right places, throw in a few stories you hope will impress. Yet when the room quiets, no one's really looking at you. They scroll, they shift, they move on, they forget what you said. And that stings, doesn't it? You try harder. You text first. You fill the silence with explanations, with jokes, with words that don't even sound like you anymore. You smile through moments when you actually feel invisible. You tell yourself, maybe if I can just get people to like me, they'll finally respect me. But the truth hits harder the older you get. The more you chase approval, the faster respect runs away. Because people don't respect neediness, they respect presence. They don't admire perfection, they admire composure. They don't trust words that beg for validation. They trust energy that doesn't ask for anything. You can feel it when someone walks into a room and doesn't need to prove a thing. Their silence carries more weight than your loudest performance. Their stillness speaks louder than anyone's voice. It's not arrogance, it's certainty. It's a quiet kind of confidence that doesn't demand attention. It attracts it. They don't try to make people like them, and somehow everyone does. So here's the paradox. You don't make people respect you by forcing it. You earn it by becoming the kind of person who commands it, quietly, naturally, without needing to ask. And that's what this conversation is about. Pause for a second. Think of the last time someone looked at you differently, with that subtle shift in their eyes that said, I trust you. I respect you. It probably didn't happen because of what you said. It happened because of how you were. The tone, the calm, the quiet confidence that told them, without words, that you respected yourself. That's what people feel, long before they ever form an opinion. We spend so much time learning how to talk, how to dress, how to impress, but almost no time learning how to be. And yet that's what respect is really built on, who you are when no one's watching. When you stop chasing validation and start embodying peace, everything changes. People notice the difference. They lean in a little closer. They trust you without knowing why. So let's strip away the noise, the pretending, the overcompensating, the need to be impressive, and get to what actually makes people instantly like and respect you. If you've ever typed into YouTube or Google how to make people like you or how to earn respect, you already know how many voices are out there promising quick fixes, fake confidence, body language tricks, clever one-liners that supposedly make people adore you. But here's the truth. None of that lasts. Because real connection isn't built on tricks. It's built on truth. There are, however, 5 essential ways to earn respect that work every single time. Not because they manipulate people, but because they reveal who you are when you stop pretending. These 5 ways come straight from one of the most timeless philosophies ever written, Stoicism. The Stoics believed that respect begins within, that if you can master yourself, your impulses, your emotions, your reactions, you become unshakable, and people are naturally drawn to that. So if you've ever wondered how to get people to respect you, not out of fear or status, but genuine admiration, stay with me. Because we're about to break down 5 Stoic, psychologically proven ways to become the kind of person others naturally like and respect. No gimmicks, no scripts, no pretending, just practical wisdom you can start using today. The kind that changes not just how others see you, but how you see yourself. Let's start with the first one. 1. The silent power that commands any room. There's a reason why some people walk into a room and without saying a single word, every head turns. It's not because of what they wear or how loud they are. It's because of what they don't do. They're still, composed, unbothered. Stillness isn't about silence. It's about control of your tone, your breath, your reactions. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't need to prove itself. And when you carry that kind of energy, people feel it before they even understand it. Think about the last time you saw someone completely at ease with themselves. Maybe it was your boss in a tense meeting or a friend who stayed calm while everyone else panicked. They didn't have to say, "I'm confident." Their body language said it for them. That kind of stillness commands respect, not because it's intimidating, but because it feels trustworthy. Now compare that to someone who fidgets, checks their phone every 10 seconds, laughs too loud, or interrupts every pause. Their energy shouts insecurity. It says, "Please notice me. Please like me." And nothing kills respect faster than desperation. The Stoics called this self-command. They believed you can't lead others until you can lead yourself. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." You can't command respect if you can't command your emotions. Most people spend their lives reacting to notifications, to opinions, to the mood of the room. They get tossed around by every wave of noise. But you can choose to be the calm in the storm. Stillness is magnetic because it creates space for others to relax, space for your words to land, space for silence to have meaning. When you pause before responding, it tells people you're thoughtful. When you maintain eye contact, it tells them you're grounded. When you move with intention, it tells them you don't chase attention. You already have it. That's what presence really is, a balance between awareness and restraint. You're fully here, but not desperate to prove it. You observe more than you react. You listen more than you speak. You respond instead of explode. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." That's what people respect. Calm strength. Not bravado, not arrogance, but quiet certainty. If you want to make people instantly like and respect you, start here. With your stillness, train yourself to breathe before you speak. Pause before you answer. Observe before you decide. Every time you resist the urge to rush, argue, or over-explain, you build presence. Every time you choose composure over chaos, you show power. Picture yourself in your next conversation. Someone raises their voice, someone interrupts you, someone tries to provoke a reaction. You breathe and stay still. In that moment, they feel it. You've shifted the dynamic. You're not controlled. You're in control. Respect grows in the silence between reactions. It's in the pause. It's in the breath. It's in the moment when you could lose control and decide not to. That's how you earn real respect. Not because you demanded it, but because your stillness silently declares, "I don't need to impress you. I'm already enough." 2. Why talking less makes people listen more. Words are cheap. Attention is not. In a world where everyone talks to be heard, the person who speaks with purpose stands out like a beacon. We've all met that person who fills every silence. They talk fast, overshare, repeat themselves, or try too hard to sound interesting. You nod politely, but inside, you're just waiting for them to stop. Then there's the other kind of person, the one who doesn't say much, but when they do, you listen. Their words land. Their sentences carry weight. That's not an accident, it's discipline. The Stoics understood this long before social media turned conversation into noise. Zeno of Citium once said, "Better to trip with the feet than with the tongue, because words are power, and when used carelessly, they weaken you." Modern life rewards fast talkers, but respect doesn't. Respect belongs to those who pause before they speak, who think, then respond. You can feel the difference between someone who reacts and someone who reflects. One sounds emotional, the other sounds composed. Try this the next time you're in a group conversation. Say less, listen fully, don't rush to fill the silence. People will lean toward you, waiting for your thoughts. Why? Because silence builds tension, and tension builds value. We mistake talking for connection, but it's actually listening that creates it. When you give someone the space to be heard, they instinctively feel seen, and in that moment, you earn their respect. The Stoics practice this restraint constantly. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal not to impress others, but to understand himself. Seneca warned, "Speech is the mirror of the soul." So if your words are scattered, your mind probably is too. You can start applying this immediately. When someone asks you a question, take a breath before answering. When emotions rise, wait 3 seconds before speaking. When you're about to justify yourself, stop and ask, "Does this need to be said?" Every unnecessary word you remove gives power to the ones that remain. It's not about being mysterious. It's about being meaningful. The fewer words you use, the more people listen when you do speak. Look at how this plays out in real life. The leader who speaks last in a meeting, their words shape the room. The friend who doesn't gossip, people trust them more. The person who stays calm in conflict, their voice cuts through the noise. Respect follows those who measure their words, not those who dominate the air. When you speak less, you also hear more. Not just others, but yourself. You notice what truly matters. You learn when silence says enough. You discover that communication isn't about filling space. It's about offering substance. So remember this. If stillness earns presence, then speech earns trust. Your words can either drain your power or define it. The choice is always in the pause, in the moment before you open your mouth. And when you finally do speak, let your words mean something. Because when they do, people don't just hear you, they remember you. 3. The one word that teaches people how to treat you. People often mistake kindness for weakness, and that's exactly how they end up drained, disrespected, and quietly resentful. You give and give and give, until you start to notice that the same people who take your time rarely give you their respect. The truth is, people treat you the way you teach them to, and every time you say yes when you mean no, you teach them that your comfort matters less than theirs. Setting boundaries isn't about being rude, it's about being clear. The Stoics believed that living with integrity meant knowing what was yours to control and what wasn't. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Boundaries are how you protect that power." Think about this. How many times have you said yes to avoid disappointing someone? You didn't want to seem selfish, so you sacrificed your own time, your own peace. But here's the twist. When you constantly abandon yourself to please others, they don't respect you more. They respect you less. Because people don't admire pushovers. They admire clarity. They admire the person who can say, "I'd love to help, but I can't right now." They admire the one who values their time enough to protect it. Boundaries are silent teachers. They communicate your worth without you having to explain it. When you draw a line, you're not pushing people away, you're showing them where you stand. Epictetus said, If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Meaning, if you're afraid of losing people by standing up for yourself, you'll lose yourself instead. The right people will respect your limits. The wrong ones will expose themselves by crossing them. You can set boundaries in quiet, calm ways. You don't have to raise your voice or justify your reasons. You can simply say, "That doesn't work for me," or "I won't be able to make it." No explanation, no guilt, just truth. It might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you've built your identity around being available, but boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. They let the right people in and keep the wrong energy out. Every time you enforce a boundary, you're teaching others how to treat you and teaching yourself that your needs are valid. You're reminding yourself that your peace is not negotiable. Here's the paradox. When you stop trying to please everyone, people start respecting you. They may not like it at first, but they'll feel it, because self-respect is contagious. The Stoics lived by principle, not approval. They knew that true peace came from alignment, when your actions match your values, and every boundary you set brings you closer to that alignment. So the next time you feel guilty for saying no, remind yourself, you're not rejecting them, you're protecting you, because respect doesn't come from being liked by everyone. It comes from being honest with yourself. And when you can do that consistently without guilt, people stop taking advantage of you. They start looking up to you, because boundaries aren't barriers to respect. They're the foundation of it. 4. The unspoken rule: respect yourself or lose everything. You can't expect anyone to respect you if you secretly don't respect yourself. That's the hard truth most people never face. They keep trying to earn approval from others while quietly doubting their own worth. But here's the thing. People can feel how you treat yourself. They mirror it. If you talk down to yourself, if you break promises to yourself, if you constantly apologize for existing, others pick up on it, even subconsciously. They learn from your example how to treat you. Self-respect isn't ego. It's not arrogance. It's alignment. It's saying, "I know who I am, and I won't trade that for cheap approval." When you hold that kind of energy, the world adjusts around you. The Stoics taught that your opinion of yourself matters more than anyone else's. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Respect yourself first, because every ounce of dignity you project begins within. Think about it. When you walk into a room doubting your worth, your posture changes, your tone softens, you shrink. You look for cues from others to decide how to feel about yourself. But when you walk in grounded, knowing who you are and what you stand for, people sense it. You don't have to convince anyone of your value. They can see it. Self-respect shows up in the details: how you dress, how you speak, how you maintain your space, and how you spend your time. Every small action either reinforces or erodes it. Do you keep promises to yourself? Do you rest when you need to? Do you challenge yourself when it matters? That's the daily practice of respect. Seneca once said, "He who is brave is free." And bravery isn't just about facing danger, it's about standing by your principles when it's easier to fold. When you do that, you start building an internal reputation with yourself. You trust you, and that trust radiates confidence in ways no affirmation ever could. The irony is that when you respect yourself, you stop chasing external validation, and that's exactly when others start giving it to you. You become steady, consistent, grounded. People are drawn to that energy because it's rare. Most are looking for approval. Few have earned their own. Here's something powerful to remember. Your boundaries, your habits, your standards, They all stem from self-respect. When you lower your standards to please someone, you're not being kind, you're being dishonest with yourself. And every time you betray your values for comfort, your self-respect erodes a little more. But when you choose integrity, when you choose what's right over what's easy, you send a message to yourself and the world. I am someone worth respecting. So if you want people to treat you differently, start by treating yourself differently. Speak to yourself with dignity. Show up for your goals. Honor your word even when no one's watching. Because the respect you give yourself sets the ceiling for the respect you'll ever receive. And when you hold yourself to that higher standard, calmly, quietly, and consistently, the world will follow your lead. 5. The truth that image can't hide. We live in an age obsessed with image. Filters, performances, highlight reels. Everyone is projecting something. But here's what most people never realize. Image might attract attention, but integrity earns respect. You can't fake integrity. You can fake charm, you can fake confidence, but character is revealed when no one's watching. It's in the small choices. How you treat people who can't help you, how you behave when the camera's off, what you do when it's inconvenient to do the right thing. The Stoics taught that virtue was the only true good, meaning your moral character is the foundation of your worth. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it. In other words, don't talk about your values, live them." Think about how rare that is today. Everyone wants to look good, few want to be good. Everyone wants to appear kind, few want to practice patience. But when you meet someone who actually walks their talk, you feel it, you relax around them, you trust them. That's what integrity does. It creates safety. Integrity is consistency. It's doing the right thing even when it costs you. It's keeping your promises when no one will know if you don't. It's telling the truth when lying would be easier. It's admitting mistakes instead of hiding them. And yes, it's harder, but it's also rarer. That's why people respect it so deeply when they see it. Think of someone you truly respect. Chances are, it's not because they're flashy or charismatic. It's because they're steady, reliable, honest. The kind of person who means what they say and says what they mean. That steadiness builds trust, and trust builds respect. The Stoics didn't talk about reputation. They talked about action. They believed that you should live so well that reputation takes care of itself. Seneca said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." You don't need to announce your values. You demonstrate them through your choices. The co-worker who never gossips. The friend who shows up when it's inconvenient. The partner who admits when they're wrong. Those small, quiet acts of integrity echo louder than any words. When you live by principle instead of performance, you free yourself from the exhausting need to impress. You stop asking, "Do they like me?" and start asking, "Did I do the right thing?" And that shift from image to integrity changes everything. Because people might like your image, but they'll only respect your integrity. Integrity is the invisible proof of strength. It's calm under pressure, honesty under temptation, humility after success. You can't buy it, you can't fake it, and you can't rush it. You build it one honest choice at a time. So if you want to earn respect that lasts, forget about looking impressive. Be dependable, be truthful, be consistent. And when you make mistakes, because you will, own them quickly, fix them quietly, and move forward stronger. At the end of the day, image fades, but integrity compounds. It builds a reputation that speaks for you when you're not in the room, and when that happens, you won't have to demand respect. Your life will do the talking. The final shift. Stop chasing respect. Become it. We've covered a lot, but really, it all comes down to one thing: the kind of person you become when no one's watching. Respect isn't something you demand, it's something you attract. By the way you live, the way you carry yourself, the way you treat others when there's nothing to gain. You don't need to chase approval anymore. You don't need to beg for attention or force connection. You just need to embody 5 timeless principles: stillness, intention, boundaries, self-respect, and integrity. When you stand still in chaos, people notice you're calm. When you speak less but mean more, people trust your words. When you set boundaries without guilt, people honor your time. When you respect yourself first, people feel your confidence. And when you act with integrity, people remember your name. These are not tricks. They're transformations. They turn you from someone who seeks validation into someone who naturally commands it. Because the truth is, people don't respect perfection. They respect presence. They don't respect appearance. They respect alignment. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That one sentence sums up what this entire journey is about: living with clarity, not confusion; strength, not performance. And maybe that's the most powerful thing about all of this. You don't need to become someone else to be respected. You just need to return to who you were before the world convinced you to perform. So take a moment right now. Breathe. Let everything you've learned settle in your mind. Imagine walking into your next conversation carrying these 5 truths: calm, composed, intentional, self-respecting, and rooted in integrity. You won't have to speak louder. You won't have to try harder. You'll simply be the kind of person whose presence does the talking. Because respect is not earned through noise. It's earned through consistency. It's the quiet confidence that grows when your actions finally match your values. And from this moment on, make a vow to yourself to stay calm when chaos tests you, to speak with purpose, not pressure, to protect your boundaries without guilt, to honor your worth without apology, to live with integrity even when no one's looking. Say it quietly if you must, but mean it with your whole heart. I am done chasing respect. I am becoming it. Because when you respect yourself, others can't help but follow. And that is how you make people instantly like and respect you.